today what you will need, of course, is your glue gun. So you might want to get that heated up. And I know for a lot of you, you're just watching it and then later on you'll go back and do it. What we're going to need for this particular project is your form, which I picked this up at the Dollar Tree for $1. And I'm going to take my glasses off because I notice they're reflecting on you. So we're going to take care of that right now. You'll need your glue gun. I picked up some of these long pins from Amazon. You'll see what we're going to use those for in a bit. Also an empty jar. And what I did is I put a little bit of white acrylic paint in there. You can also use chalk paint with a little bit of water. Shake it up with your corks in there. And that's going to give you that white chalky cork look that I have on these corks. So see how they're all white and chalky? So those are kind of cool. So these ones are like what I call the mushroom tops. And on the mushroom tops, I'm gonna go like this. Facebook, YouTube, Facebook, YouTube. I use these to make like little business card stands. You can slice the top and put your little business card in there, and they're really cute. Or a tabletop, if you're having reserved seating or you're doing a family dinner, you can put like little love notes or something. These are kind of cool to do that with. So we're going to dump some of these out before we can get started here. All we're going to do is go around and randomly glue our corks on here. Super easy peasy. I left this on just so you can see. Pick that up at the Dollar Tree. It's just glue these on, and what I like to do when I'm gluing these on is I like to put the decorations on there all the way around and kind of zigzag them and make them kind of fun. Just randomly glue them. I like to do this. I need to make a mess. Taking them out of that was just too much. So just randomly start gluing these on. And you'll notice too on my table I have like this little glass that I set my glue gun down on. That way it doesn't get stuck on the papers and stuff that are on my desk. And we're just gonna pop these on. And just kind of hold them there as you pop them on. Okay? On here you'll notice how these are dark. What I did is I soaked these in some old wine. I had someone give me some old wine bottles, and it actually had some of the Merlot left in it. So I just dumped it out and I soaked some of the corks I had, and it made like this really cool purple. And that's going to give a little bit more depth. And don't worry about all these little strings that you're getting from your glue gun, because you can just take those off. So just kind of hold them in there and press them down. Kind of get fun and crazy doing it. Okay? But notice how I'm going around and I'm putting it into the curvatures here. So I'm working with the form itself. So I'm not working against it, I'm working with cool mushroom tops for later. But see, it has that white on there. That is just so cool to me. I love that. So I'm just going around and I'm working with the form. This is kind of fun because I haven't made one with this type of form. So we're doing this together. It's like, let's just figure it out together. I'm brave. So we got that going on so far. Now we want to fill that up some more. Really want to bling it out with the corks. So I'm going to add some of the colored in there. But on these, what I did to get that white chalky on there, like I said, I squirted some white paint in there. It doesn't take much. Put a little bit of water in there. I threw my corks in there, shook it up, took them out and let them dry. And I used acrylic paint, you can use acrylic paint or chalk paint. They both give that white chalky look. So, the biggest thing on here is just being patient to let your stuff dry as you're putting it on. I started following this other artist on, she's actually on Facebook and she's on YouTube, and I really like her stuff. I think her site's called The Little Bluebird. She does a lot of acrylic painting, so you might want to check her out. She's pretty cool. But see how I'm just kind of piling them next to each other where the little nooks and crannies are? Kind of piling them in there. Working these dark ones in just to give it a little bit color and some pop. A thing to think about too, another way to dye these, because these are cork. So like when you want to cut cork, boil it in water for about 10 minutes and they cut real easy. You can also put food coloring. Yeah, so if you wanted to make them different colors, just a dab or two, because food coloring is pretty strong. You can use food coloring on these, or different chalk paints and different acrylics as well. I just wanted to get that, the look that I have here for the style I'm going for. I wanted something a little different, a little more shabby. Shabby cheek. Shabby cheek? Is that the word? And it works just fine. I feel so blessed to just be able to do this for you guys. So just continue to put your corks on. So you're going to fill this all up with all these different corks. Make sure they're glued down good. Another thing too is when you're buying glue, what I have found, if you get the Gorilla Glue sticks, you're not going to have issues down the road. The Gorilla Glue sticks stick quite well. Especially in Arizona, if you're going to put this outside where the heat is and the heat heats up your glue, they'll fall off. So use the Gorilla Glue sticks. They're pretty durable. Get what you pay for. I get them at Joann's or Michael's with my 50% off coupon when I get those 50% off coupons. That's the best way to do it. You can buy Gorilla Glue sticks on Amazon too. And also, I have a link. I have a site on Amazon. I get no commission or anything off of anything. I'm not there yet. But I do have a site set up to where you can go on and see the different things that I use. So I have different lists. So when you're wanting to buy supplies, just go on to my Amazon site. And I just kept everything really simple. It's all under my name, Hallie Osborne Jolitz or Hallie Jolitz. You're going to find me. And like I said, I'll put the link in the comments as well, and I have the link on all my YouTubes, but that will give you the supply list of the different things I use for my different projects. I have like a generic Hallies Creations, and then I also have one like for glass painting, one for wreaths, and one's for DIY. So all the different projects I do and supplies, for the most part, I have on there so you can easily get your supplies. See all these neat little designs on here? I want to show those off. Now you can go as heavy or as light as you want on these corks. There's no right or wrong way. It's your way. Art is art. And whatever looks good to you, that's what you're going to go for. Unless you're doing a consignment piece. You see my eye there? This is just plain. So you could wrap a ribbon around this. We're going to accent it, all that fun stuff too. We're actually going to go from beginning to end on this. I'm thinking we have a pretty good amount of corks on here. We can go more if we want. But see how fun that is? Let's put a few more on here, just to give it some dimension. Remember what I said, there's no right or wrong way of doing this, it's just your way. It's just your way. So let's get that to dry here a little bit. I'm about having fun. So I put one that was in the burgundy in here, the purple. He's so helpful. So that's what the beeping is. It's so funny. Do those little frame shots. There you go. Don't want to dry on there. Trying to put it in kind of funky and different. Say no. Don't worry too when you're putting these on if your glue is kind of showing through in different spots, because you're going to cover it up. As you know, I always show you how to do a bow and that kind of stuff when I do these, and how to do the embellishments, so we're going to do that too. Yes, we are. I thought this would look kind of cool and neutral. I like that. And let's put some shells on it. Be kind of fun. So all you're going to do is you're just going to glue it. Probably should show you that what I'm doing here. You're just going to glue this down and just line it up on your corks. This is where it gets fun, when you start putting the embellishments on it. So we're gonna let that sit before it can actually adhere to it. The little cute little shell. Put the bottom glue on there. What I try to do is find different spots where these are going to look really cool. Like on the tip of this one cork. Looks kind of cool on there. The purple. With a cute little shell. Glue that on. And this is why it's important to get the good glue. It's interesting because when I make things, when I first start to make them, I never like what they look like when I first start. I'm my worst critic. I'll look at a painting and go, oh, I can do better. And then I just stay with it. Put a couple shells together there. There's no method to my madness. So I'm not going to put any more shells in yet because I want to accent it with the florals and then the bow, and then I'll accent it some more. So kind of look at it, get a visual about where you want to put your florals and stuff. So I kind of need to do that for a second here. I need it to look. So when you're putting your florals on, your fake florals, I'm going to trim down the back here a little bit, just where they lay a little bit better. If you take this off, the whole flower is going to fall apart. So just trim that stem down. Otherwise you'll go, oh no, and you just glue it on there, nice and thick. Ooh, ah. It's coming together. We're going to trim this down again. Do another one. And I'm thinking But right here would look pretty. So I'm just going to add the glue to the back of this. Glue that on the back. Hold it for a few seconds. Where a lot of people, when they're doing these florals, they try to make everything uniform and everything symmetrical, and that's okay if that's the way you do it. But it's nice just to fill in the nooks and crannies on these and give it some dimension. So like here we have the flower here facing up, but this flower's not. Because when I do the bow, then that's all going to come together anyway, because I'm going to add that all together. So don't worry about making it all, you know, facing one direction is what I'm saying. It can kind of go different ways. Because we're going to fill this all in. All these little accents, just to give it some color, some dimension. So all your friends that drink, that have extra wine corks laying around their house, or do like I do, I just do a shout out on Facebook and everybody kind of hooks me up. You can make all kinds of different things. On the bow, I'm thinking just a real cute, simple bow. Nothing fancy or anything. So let's just, I always cut it longer than what I need. I know it's a little wasteful, but you know what? Measure twice, cut once, and you can trim it up. If you're cutting your fabric, trying to save your fabric, you end up 90% of the time losing your fabric. Pipe cleaner. Remember what I've showed you before on the different shares I've done? Fold, find the middle, and see how that worked? I'm already going, I want my bow to be more like this. Okay, so you're going to fold it, find your middle, and just twist it. I do about 3 twists. So here you go. So that'll be the bow I'm going to put on it. Now we can, if we wanted to knot and put a little knot over that, I'll show you that. Why not? What I do is I just knot I use my knot and then I cut it. So you're just going to tie a knot. Put it over, tie it up, and then you've got like a knotted bow. It looks really pretty when you're done. If you wanted to knot it. Now I want to see where we're going to put this bow. I'm thinking the bow is going to go here. I'm thinking the bow's going to go about right here. See the perspective when you turn it around? It's like, oh, do I want it there? Do I want it here? Do I want it here? All you're going to do is twist this on to your form. And I like to hide my pipe cleaners when all possible. 3. I'm not going to trim that yet because I want to make sure that's where I'm going to put it before I commit to it. Okay? I'm going to fluff this out a little bit here. I kind of need to look at it for a minute to fluff it out. I apologize for not doing it where you can see it. We'll get back on where you can. Because that is showing here, I'm going to put something to cover this up. And then I'm going to drop the cute little corks on there. So on this jute, you could wash it out as well, which is what I did with another on this here. I washed it out, so you'll notice it's washed out. For time's sake today, I'll wash it out later. So I just want to get this on for you. So on here, what you're going to do is take your wire cutters and kind of put it down, because these will shoot. It's gonna shoot off if you do it the other way. So kind of pop it down We're going to do 2 of those. So I'm going to do another one. And this gives it a real pretty pearl head. Find it cute with, you know, the bottoms looking good. And you're just going to leave some of that on there. Leave some of your jute on and just poke this through your jute. Like so. And poke it. That's right. You're going to poke it into your cork. Like that. And that'll be a cute little dangle. So I want to find another cute little cork that's in good shape. You want to use your good shape corks. And it's nice and clean. I'm just going to pop that in. Like so. Bam! You can do more than 2 if you want. I'm just going to do 2 for time's sake right now. And I'm just going to tie them on my bow. Kind of put them through. You can tie them on anyway. All I'm doing is, I'm doing a loop-de-loop and just looping them through. That will cover up some of that gold from the pipe cleaner. That's where it's when you have this colors of pipe cleaners that you're working with, it really helps. So let's get a little bit more action going here. And if you wanted to put pearl tips on here, like trim some of those and pop them in and get pearl tips on here, you could. Be so good. I really think this flower would look better right there. Is this the right color and everything? See how that looks better there? So let's get that to pop in and work that a little bit. You can actually pop these off, but you need to be mindful that if you don't get that glued really good, your flower is going to come apart on you. So let's get that popped in there. I'm going to hold this for a second. See what I said about if you take it off, it'll fall apart. It will fall apart. Now I'm going to have to go in and glue those layers in just to keep it from falling apart. If that happens, I did that on purpose to show you. Haha. No, you need to just go in and dab a little bit of glue in the center there to hold those together. If your flower starts to come apart. Both of them are going to do it because I took that backing off. So try to leave the backing in there when you can. That is the best rule of thumb. Leave that green backing in there. Otherwise your flower is going to try to fall apart. Like this. Kind of pop them in. And what I can do is, like, you know, like they have the holes here for when you put the cork, you want to cover that up. Just put your push pin in there. Take the focal point away from that little, you know, where the corkscrew went in. You put a little pearl in there, or 2 or 3. I'm using the lid to put those ends of those pearls in. These I picked up on Amazon, and they are on my shopping list. And those of you that just tuned in, I do have, and it's under my name, an Amazon site on Amazon. If you look for Hallie Osborne Jolitz or Hallie Jolitz. There's a few Hallies out there now, so you have to put my last name in there. You might get something weird, but I found that one out. I'm going to use another one of these really cute ones and pop them in here. This is where you can add more dimension if you wanted to while you're just sitting here and playing. The thing that you want to keep in mind when you're doing these projects is don't overwork it. When you're happy with it, then be happy with it. It's all good. I'm just adding a few more corks just to give it some dimension. That's kind of fun. I like these with the leaves on them. I have to hold some of these. Let's do a couple more just for giggles and laughs. I see a couple places here where I can put some really cool spots. But see how they look with the little pearls on them? Can you see that? When you pop the little pearls in there, this kind of gives it that little extra touch. I'm looking at the shell going, ooh, this is the colors of what this is. Now see how I got a little messy there? That's okay, because I'm going to peel that back once it dries. I just want it to be, I wanted to aggressively glue it. And the glue gun, it will peel back. So that's no problem. No problem. But I saw this color and it's like, oh, we gotta use this in here. This is these colors. We're gonna let that sit and dry. So the next time you're at the beach and you're collecting seashells with your grandkids or your kids, here's another thing that you can do with them. So much fun. Poke that. So I'm poking these pearls into the parts of the corks that the corkscrew was in to cover up that. And just to give it a little accent. I think that's good. Okay, my friends, I'm going to call it, I'm like, ooh, what am I doing? I'm going to call it a day. Fun making little craft things with Hallies Creations. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Have a good day and a better tomorrow. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Peace out. It's been real. Bye.